Welcome to the Patreon. I'm so excited about this Patreon account. I want you to share your wisdom. I'm going to share my wisdom. I'm going to share with transparency. Those of you that know human design, I'm a manifesting generator 6-3. I'm revolution. I'm an Aquarius. I'm very strong into astrology. I'm going to share every tips and tools that I have along the way so that we learned along the way so that we can really create the transformation that you're looking for in your life and business. Now, I always focus on money and how to switch your money mindset because that's been the hardest thing for me. But here's what I want you to know. When we work on the method to transform our money mindset, guess what happens? Everything in our life really begins to fall into place. So, today, I want to share from the heart something very transparent and hard that I went through in hopes that it might help you understand how to allow money into your life a little bit more. This is going to be tender because it's something that just happened to me, but a little housekeeping before I get started. When you see those stripes come across the bottom of my screen, it's my frequency. I have the hardest time keeping computers because my frequency is so high that I blow out computers all the time. So know that that is something I can't change. I wish I could. It happens with every laptop computer I get, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to share a little story. This is going to be tender. Don't be surprised if my eyes water because I'm all tapped in and I'm sharing authentically, and this just happened. Now, the one thing I want you to know is we all make mistakes. Okay. It's part of being human and it's part of our evolution. It's through challenging times that we gain deeper insights and lessons to help us evolve because our only dharma in this life is our own personal evolution. So, for us to acquire the wisdom that we came here to learn, guess what? We have to go through shit shows. Okay. Recently, I made a mistake. Some of you might have even witnessed it if you're on Facebook. Um, it was a mistake. I made it. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to bring that energy, but it was a mistake. And it was a mistake that cost me a friendship. And along with that came a lot of shame and guilt and regret over what I had done. I want you to know that I did not do anything to the particular person that I lost the friendship with. She just didn't like what I had done and therefore ghosted me. Okay. Why am I telling you this? Because our self worth is a direct reflection of our ability to manifest money. And when we're carrying around shame, guilt, regret, guess what? That's going to inhibit and be a cock blocker for our ability to allow income in. Now, it was so appropriate for this to happen during Mars retrograde, and the north and south nodes of the moon change signs, which for the next 18 months are going to be allowing us to go deeper, and it's going to bring shame and regret from past experiences to the surface also in the immediate, right? So I did something, and it when you get to know me, I am one of those people that preaches be responsive instead of reactive, but that doesn't mean that we're perfect and we're always responsive. I did something very reactive, and there were repercussions that came along with it. I regretted it. I pulled it down very quickly and really started like doing the work that it took to heal from that experience. I don't regret it because it really put some dynamic growth into where I'm going and what I'm doing. But what I want you to hear here is we're always going to be experiencing, no matter how evolved we are, we're always going to be experiencing mistakes and repercussions from our mistakes. Some of them will be upsetting and hard to digest. Some of them will be really easy for us to let go of and move on. So I want to share with you some of the things that had to happen to help you really understand the depths of what needs to be done to manifest more money into your life. So, the first thing that we need to recognize is that the past doesn't exist. What I did last week doesn't exist. It happened, but it no longer exists. Letting go of our attachment to what was is very important. Sounds so easy, right? When you get it, you get it and you can do it. So that was the first thing that I needed to do, is to release that shame and regret, is embrace the core level belief that I have that the past doesn't exist. I can't change it. I can't change what I did, right? I can only change where I'm at, what I'm doing, and how I move forward. And my primary objective was to release the shame, guilt, and regret that I had around that particular event and do what I needed to do to move forward. So the first thing I needed to recognize is the past doesn't exist. It happened, but it doesn't exist. The second thing I needed to address is the future doesn't exist. I cannot control what happens from here on out. I cannot control that she ghosted me. Okay. I cannot control her reactions to my actions. Does that mean that I couldn't reach out or try and mend something if I thought that it was worth mending? No, I just need to know that I can't attach to an outcome because it is not determined by what I want when we're involving other people. The first thing I want you to know is that if somebody has the capability of ghosting you during hard times or because you make a mistake, they're probably not a friend to begin with, right? They probably have their own shit that they need to deal with. So it was really easy for me to say to myself, to know to myself that this friendship is past or not worth repairing for me because I made a mistake. And instead of coming to me and talking to me, she ghosted me. Now, when she came back in and was like, I probably should have come to you and talk to you instead of ignoring it for, a week or whatever, because this was somebody who talked to me every single day. My response is, yeah, you should have. That doesn't change that I no longer can trust her because even though I made a mistake, she responded in a way that broke the line of trust, if that makes sense. So I knew that I could control what I wanted. So letting go of the future that maybe I may have believed could be true or what I may have desired for, allowing what really needs to transpire. Because she was such a close friend that we spoke multiple times a day, that habit has been instilled, right? It's heartbreaking to have that loss. But at the same time, what is best for me, right? When we are operating in shame, regret, sadness, we often want to hold on to something that might not be serving us in the future. The relationship was broken. And while there could be ways to mend it, I had to look at what was best for me moving forward. Okay. I know this is a lot to take in and it might sound like I'm being gossipy, but I'm not. I'm just trying to share some words of wisdom because in the past I would have clinged on to it. I would have worried about it. I would have tried to make something change and mend that was broken to a point that it couldn't be repaired. So I would have been expelling a lot of energy in an area that was not serving me. Okay. So the thing that I really want you to understand here is that our self-worth is the key to financial success. So when we are holding on to those low frequencies and those belief systems about who we are, what we're capable of or what we're not capable of, if we have shame and regret, it's going to be the first thing that is going to block money coming into our life. And I know you have done a lot of work around self-worth. But if you are not seeing the money in your life, there's still work to be done. And I'm not talking about more tapping, uh, more meditation, more essential oils or plant medicine. I'm not talking about doing more. Okay. I'm talking about learning a proven method that changes who you are on a core level. I'm talking about reprogramming your subconscious beliefs, the ones that are running on the background all the time that you very rarely hear, because your subconscious is so loud telling you things that you shouldn't do or you should do, or how you're supposed to work things, or that you're not good enough, or that you're not smart enough, or all these things that you're trying to change through affirmations and tapping and stuff that's not working, that it's still there. Okay. So in our time together, you're going to learn more ways to really dive into the subconscious, because I love the science around manifesting. And if you're not registered, make sure to get enrolled for the free class that I'm hosting on Tuesday, because we're going to go deep. And I am the type of coach that is very intuitive. I'll have an outline. I might even have some schematics or whatever, but I'm going into this wanting to know exactly where you are. And I'm going to address very specific things that are important to the group in that moment. Okay. So we're going to roll with it. But I wanted to share this because I think it's really important for us to begin to understand how broken relationships can influence our income and everything else in our life. Because we hear coaches say all the time, let go of the relationships that aren't serving you. And immediately we will see the ones that we're being treated poorly in. But there's also relationships that it's more subtle with. And this was a subtle one. And I saw the red flags coming weeks ago, but I still maintained it, thinking that, oh, it's just me. It's just, I'm just, stop, stop thinking that, Lynn Louise. Maybe you're just judgy or whatever, right? But if we reflect back, we can see the red flags and everything that was coming. So it shouldn't have been a surprise to me when I got ghosted. It was and it wasn't, right? I can look at hindsight's 2020. I can be like, yeah, I saw it coming. I should have known. Like things are wonky, and but I had to take 100% responsibility for my actions. I had to take 100% responsibility for why that ended. Okay. Now, if she's going to move forward too, she needs to take responsibility for her side of it, right? Like, I don't know what she's going to do, but that's what I'm saying. Like, in order for, if I was the one that was on the other side and she was on, I would have to take full responsibility for what I created in the end of that relationship and then move on, right? Let's don't linger there. I'm not going to be mourning her next week. I'm not going to be thinking about how can I mend this? It's over. It's done, right? We need to move on and really start focusing on letting more people in that are aligned with our core values, that love who we are, that are like lit on fire by our wisdom and want to co-create with us, right? And sometimes those relationships last 3 months. Sometimes they last 30 minutes. Sometimes they last 30 years. We never know, right? And we can't determine the length of those. And every relationship has lessons. I can look back on this relationship and really take note, which reminds me today, I'll probably make a list of things of why what I learned from my relationship, good and bad, right? Colloquially, good and bad. We know lessons are all good. But I would love to see your comments and if this brought anything up for you, if you're seeing boundaries being pushed and relationships coming to an end in this Mars energy, and if those North and South nodes have brought shame and regret from the past or most recent past into your life, and how you are flowing through those to release them. Journaling's always good. I also should tell you that the doors to Evolution 10X will be opening Tuesday. So they're open for a very short time. So if you're looking to really go deeper into cosmic level change that incorporates the science to manifesting, which is all here, then let's talk. But oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this Patreon. Okay. Love and light, sisters. Love and